Welcome to using Python to do video editing. By taking this course, you'll be able to edit any video with Python code. At the end of this course, you'll be able to extract movie data, convert videos to animated GIFs, transform videos like rotate it, concatenate stack videos, apply all kinds of video effects, resize it, crop it, and much more, all with just Python code. The ideal student for this course is a beginner Python programmer who wants to have fun with video editing. Enroll in this course and take your skills to the next level. So the first thing to do is start your Python environment, your programming space. That can be the PyCharm IDE for Python development. It might be another editor that you like using. Any Python IDE works, but in this course I'll be using PyCharm for creating our Python projects. So first thing to do is install PyCharm and click Create New Project. Give your project a name. You can select your virtual environment tool that sets up your programming environment. Make sure to select a newer version of Python. So you want to use version 3 or newer. I'm using one of the newer versions here. And then click Create. That will start a new project. Set up the programming environment. And once that's completed, you want to install a module, a Python module named MoviePy. MoviePy is a Python module that lets you edit movies. So you can do video editing with it, including cutting, generating titles, and a lot more. So how do we install it? Well, it depends on which IDE you're using. If you're using the terminal, you can use the command pip install MoviePy. However, in PyCharm, we can go to File, Settings, and then go to Project Interpreter, double click, and this is where you see the installed packages. So click on the plus symbol and it will show you a list of all the packages to install. And in here we type MoviePy. So this is the video editing module we'll use. Click Install Package. That will install the package for this project. So each time you create a new Python project for editing movies, you have to do this step to install the MoviePy module. You'll see it's still installing, and in time that changes to installed, where you are prompted a little green bar on the bottom. So let's create our first project. The next thing to do is to create a source directory. So open your project, your virtual environment directory, and create a new directory for your code. So right click, new directory, and we'll name it source. And then finally we'll create a Python file. Right click on the source directory, new Python file. I'll name it film.py. And in here we can write our code. In this lecture you will learn how to make your first video, which is just a single color. So this is, we can test if PyMovie is working correctly in that way. So the first thing to verify is that PyMovie module is loaded for the project. So if you use PyCharm, go to File, Settings. That will show this window. You want to close Editor and go to your project. So these are your project settings. And if you go to Project Interpreter, you can see the packages installed for your project. In this case, MoviePy is in the list, which means that we can use MoviePy. Now, if it's not in the list, click on the plus symbol, and you get an overview or a list of all the available Python packages. So every Python package that exists. And if it's not installed, search for MoviePy and click Install Package. In this case, it's already installed because we see it in the list. You'll see MoviePy right here, and it might also install some other modules along with it. So we will create a video which contains a single color. Now the first thing to do is just to load MoviePy. You can do that with this line. So from MoviePy we import everything. Then we'll create an image using the class color clip. Now as parameters it takes two parameters. The first one is the size. The size is in width and height. you'll see here this first width and then the height, which can be any width and height you specify. And this is specified in the number of dots or the number of pixels on the screen. Now in this case it would be a very small video. This is a 320 width and 200 height. Screens these days often have 1600 width or 2000 width, whereas height it goes beyond 1000. So this is a very small video, which is more like a mobile phone size video size. The next parameter is the color. Now the color is specified using color channels. Anything you see on the screen, any dot, is made up of 3 color, so a mix of 3 colors: a red color, a green color, and a blue color. Now these values are a byte, so the red color can be anything from 0 to 255, the green can be anything from 0 to 255, and the blue can be any value between 0 and 255. So if you were to make all of them 255, you would have a white color. If you would make all of them 0, you would have a black color. If you would make the first one 255 and the rest 0, you would have a red color, because the first color indicates the amount of red, then the amount of green, and then the amount of blue. Now the next thing MoviePy needs to know is how long should the clip last. So how many seconds? Now you can do that by calling the function .setDuration. With as parameter the number of seconds the video should last. Now any screen is made up by refreshing an image. So it's not like a screen is a constant image like a painting, but it's an update each time of the screen. So you may have heard of a frame rate, which is how often that screen gets updated. So if you were to specify 24, it would update 24 times per second. If you were to specify 30, it would be 30 times per second. Now if you have a very low frame rate, the screen gets very sluggish, because if you update once a second, that's not a nice movie to watch. Now in the case of a single color, you wouldn't really notice that, but in the case of a movie, if the picture is updated once a second or twice a second, it's a very sluggish movie. So usually these values, or the frame per second, is around 24 or 30. And finally you want to write the video. So you can call the function writeVideoFile with as parameter the file name, and that would save the output in your project source directory. You can also specify a path to your somewhere on your computer, so wherever you have it stored. So maybe you want it in /home/u/videos. If you're on a Linux computer, on Windows you might want to have it on C:\users/documents or something like that. If you just specify a file name, it would write the file, the output, into the source directory. And you can specify a variety of video formats. So MP4 is just one of them. It can be WebM movies. It supports many different output formats. I'll leave it to MP4 now, because many video players can play MP4. And once we click run, it will create the color image, set the duration of the video, then set the screen update speed, and finally write the video file. And you'll see when we click run, it wrote the file and the output is ready. Now another way to run is by right click on your Python file and click run. Now to open a video, I'll double click here. You can open it with any video player. And you'll see we have a red video, a red color. Now that's because the red color is very high here. If we were to set it to 0 and increase the green color channel, you would see a green clip. So if we open it, the clip has become totally green, and the last channel is the blue channel. So if we set it to the maximum value, the amount of blue becomes 255, which is the maximum amount of blue. And if you want, you can mix the color channels, so you can have multiple at once. So this can be different values, anywhere between 0 and 255. And so we're running it again, and if we open it, you'll see the color channels are now mixed. And this mix can be all kinds of values between 255 and 0. And so you can make any color on the screen. So you'll see, you can create different colors for your video clip. With Python, using MoviePy, you can get all kind of properties about the video. So whether that's a short video, a long video, a movie, you can get all kind of properties like the width, height, the duration, and so on. So first, load the MoviePy module and also install the packages, the MoviePy package, either using file settings, as I've shown you in the previous clips. So if you're using PyCharm, you can go file settings and add the package there. If you have the command line, you can use the pip install command. Okay, so next, open the movie. So call video file clip with the full path to your movie, which is different on your computer. This is on my computer. And then the movie file name, including the type of movie. So make sure the type is actually correct. In this case, we have an MP4 file. Then you can get the width by calling .w, the height by calling .h. If you want both the width and the height, you can call .size. So if we were to run it, we would get width, height, and size. As you see here, width, height, and if you want both of them, you have a list with first the width and then the height. You can also get the duration by calling .duration, so that's the number of seconds the movie takes. So in this case, this movie is 23 seconds. It will output different numbers on your computer because the movie you have selected may have a different width and height, as well as a different duration. You can also show the frame rate, which is the number of images per second. So number of movie images per second, or it's also sometimes called the number of frames per second. And so if we run this, you'll see it shows 29.9, which is roughly 30 images per second, which creates a very smooth image or a smooth movie that doesn't have any lag when, for example, there's a certain action in the movie or something happens. If the frame rate is too low, you don't have a very smooth movie. And so the number of frames per second is quite an important measure because it can tell you something about the smoothness of the video. So these are some of the values you can get for any movie. You can download this as a touched file and try it on any movie on your own. You can convert a set of images into a movie using Python MoviePy. So if you have any set of images, it can be 4 images, it can be 40 images, it can be 400 images, you can add them, show them one by one and turn them into a movie. So how does that work? First, import the MoviePy module, and you also want to make sure that it's actually loaded in your project. So go to File, Settings, and you'll go to Project Film, Project Interpreter, and make sure MoviePy is, the package MoviePy is installed. If it's not, click on the plus symbol and search for MoviePy, and then install it. So in this case, you'll see it's blue, it's already installed. Okay, the next thing to do is to define your movies using image sequence. So an image sequence is just a set of images that we will turn into a movie. Now for every image, either you have to specify the full path to your image or put them in your project directory. Now it makes sense here to just specify the path, so I downloaded a bunch of images. And this is the full path, so on Windows that is C:/ and so on. In this case, I put everything in the downloads directory. So specify every image, and the next thing you need to do is how fast or how long should every image be shown. So in this case, I want 1 image per second, so 1 frame per second. FPS, that's short for frame per second, or image per second. So every image will be shown for only 1 second. Now all of these images need to be on the same size, so the same width and height. Otherwise, it won't be able to convert the images into a movie. So all of them need to be exactly the same width and height, all of the images. The next thing to do is to save the image. So you can use the function write video file with whatever file name you want. Then if we run it, right click on our script, run film. It will create our video. In this case, it's very fast because it only converts 4 images. And then open your player or play your movie, and you'll see every image is shown for just 1 second. Now you can delay that. So for example, if you want to show every image for 1/10 of a second, it supports floating point numbers or broken numbers. So in this way, every image will be shown a lot longer. So if we then run the program again and then show our video, all of the images are shown a lot longer now. So 10 times as long for every image. And you'll see it will change after a while. And in this case, might be a bit too slow. But you can set the frame rate here, so it can be 1 frame per second. If you have a lot of images, usually for movies you have 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second that are like the default rate. But for this example, we only have 4 images, or you can add as many images as you want. If you have a lot of images and you want a really smooth movie, you want to set it to 24 or 30. And in here we can write our code. Now the code we'll write consists of 3 lines. The first loads the MoviePy module, then we'll load a movie from the disk and rotate it, and finally we'll write the output. So that looks like this. First we load the MoviePy module with this line. The MoviePy should have been set up in File Settings, so if you go to File Settings and go to Project Film, Project Interpreter, MoviePy should be in the list, otherwise it won't work. The next line loads a video from the computer. So this loads a video from the computer with the file name here. Now, because in our project we don't have the file, you might want to specify the path to the file, or alternatively, put the file into your project directory. Then you can apply an operation on your movie. For example, you can rotate it by 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or any rotation. Then you have the variable or the video object, and you can write the video object to a file using the function writeVideoFile, where the output, if it's like this, is saved into the same directory as your code file. So you may want to specify an output directory also. So the path to your directory, if you don't have it stored in your program files, can be specified. Now this depends on your operating system. So on a Windows computer that might be C/users/ and so on. On a Mac computer that might be /users/u/desktop or wherever you put your video file. Now on my computer I've stored it into the downloads directory. And I'll also want to store the output in the downloads directory. Now, if you don't like this style, you can specify any path and just put your files into the source directory or somewhere else in your project directory. But I prefer to specify the path. Then we'll want to run the program. Click Add Configuration. Then Templates, open it. Click Python. Then you'll see script path, and you want to select your script so that Python knows what to run. So click on Open Your Project directory and select your file. So that's film.py we just created. And you want to select the right interpreter, so Python 3.8 is fine. Click Apply and then click OK. You can click your project and click Run Film. So now you'll see it starts the program, and in this case the directory is not right. You can see the error it's throwing. The file could not be found. So you want to make sure that the file path is correct, otherwise it won't do anything. And in my case that's the correct path. If your path is not correct, it will just show. So right click on it, run. And when it's running, you'll see it outputs it starts to play to do the conversion, and you'll see a bar while it's in process. So it's not live, it's being processed like any video editor, and it takes some time to process it and then to save it into a new video file. You can see that when it's completed, it's slowly, depending on your computer, it will do it faster or slower. So once it's completed, it saves the file in the directory you specified as the output you specified. So whichever file name and file type you defined. Once it's completed, you'll see the video is ready, and you can open it using any video player. You can open a File Explorer and click on it, whichever you prefer, or you can start it from the terminal. It doesn't really matter, so you can use any of those. Now, if you recall, we called the rotate function, so the video will have been rotated by 90 degrees. So first we open the original. So this is the original video, which is the input video. Then the output video is rotated by 90 degrees. So if we open that one, you'll see the same video, but then rotated by 19 degrees. And this was done just using 3 lines of code. So what if we rotate it by more degrees? Let's say we want to rotate it upside down, so by 180 degrees. If we then run the program again, you'll see it starts saving the new version, which is, it should output the original video, but then rotated upside down, rotated by 180 degrees. Now once it's completed, we can open it with any video player again, whichever video player you use on your system. So it might take a while, this video processing, depending on the size of your video. If it's a long video, it will take longer, and if it's a short video, it will be a lot faster. It's something to keep in mind that if you have a long video, the output is not instant. Okay, so it's done. It's saying the video ready. And now we can open the output video. So if we now open the output video, you'll see the video is now upside down. It still includes the sound, which you cannot hear right now, but the sound is still there and all the video properties remain the same. Now this looks a bit cryptic because we're opening and rotating the video on the same line. So what you can do is first opening it on the first line and then rotating it on the second line. So that's more easy to rate and it makes more sense. Of course you can put all your code on a single line, but that's not a very good habit. And this makes it a lot more readable when you put it on a separate line. So if you now run the program, you'll see it starts saving the file again, and you'll have the same output file, but the program is a lot easier to read. You can see now 4 lines of code which do the video editing. So first we load the MoviePy module, then we'll load the video, we rotate the clip, and finally we write the file. You can download this program as a touch file and run it on your own computer. However, make sure your paths to your videos are correct and that the actual file name is correct. You can convert videos into an animated GIF or an animated image. So GIFs are a very old image type, which are basically moving pictures. So you can create any type of GIF you want. It can be just illustration, but it can also be like real-world photos or any type of content. It's just animated. So many websites, they have sharing some GIFs. And GIFs can be used anywhere on the web easily, as you see on this website. And so you can convert any video you have into a GIF. So how does that work with Python MoviePy? Well, first load the module. So import the MoviePy module. Then you want to load the video clip. In the video clip you want to specify the path to your file. If it's not in the same directory as your program, you want to specify the full path to your file, as well as the file name and the extension. So in this case it's an MP4 file, but there are many formats. You can have an AV file or AVI file, an MPEG file, a WebM file, and all types of files. So specify both the file name, the file path, and, well, basically specify your file correctly, otherwise it won't load, so you don't forget your file path. Then PyCharm comes with a function called write_GIF, and then between those brackets you can specify your file name. So once you run that, it will start converting your file and convert the video file into an animated GIF. And you can see it outputs it into the source directory. And so you can open that. The GIFs, I'll open it with a web browser. And then you can see that it's actually original video has been converted into a GIF file. So this works with any video. So whenever you have a video, you can call the function writeGIF to output as a GIF image. Now movies can be very long, like if you have a video clip, it might be a 1-hour movie or 2-hour movie, or even if you have a video clip, it might be a clip of 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So what you can do is to shorten the clip. So you can shorten it by calling the function subclip with the starting seconds. So the starting point at 0 seconds and then the number of seconds to record. For instance, 3 seconds. So this will convert the clip into only a 3-second clip. And so if you then run it, it will start converting the clip, but it will only do so for the first 3 seconds. And so that can be particularly useful when creating your GIF, because clips can be very long, and as you see, converting the video to a GIF, it might take a while if you have a very long clip, because now even for this 3 seconds clip, it's loading quite a while. So many occasions you want to cut the number of seconds in order to get the type of data you want from the video. And so if we reload it, you'll see it has been converted only to a 3-second clip. And that's why you see it repeating so fast. So you can specify the offset, so the starting point in the video. Maybe you want to start at 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Maybe you want to start at the beginning at 0 seconds. And then the second number should be the number of seconds you want the clip to play. If you have some video clips, you can use Python to combine them. So that means first playing one video and then playing the next video. Or if you have several videos, you can play them all in series. So I have downloaded 2 videos from the web. So you'll see this is very basic videos, a person reading, and a clip of a ship. So we can combine them, meaning first play one video and then play the other. And we can do all of that just by Python code. So first import MoviePy and install the MoviePy module. Then from MoviePy editor, you'll want to import video file clip, because we use that to define our videos. And then we need to import a function to put those 2 videos in series. So we want to play them in series. There's a function for that called Concatenate Video Clip, and that puts them in series or concatenates them. Next, we need to define the video clips. So we have 2 video clips, clip 1 and clip 2. And for both of them are a video file clip, which we imported from MoviePy editor. Then you want to specify the full path to your file and the file name. So if you see here, we have 2 files, read.mp4 and both.mp4. And that are these 2 files. So this is read.mp4 and this is both.mp4. And this is the full path that we specified. So this is just a definition of the video files. So wherever your video file is stored and your video file names. Then to combine them, we use the function concatenate video file clips. So call the function concatenate video file clips with as parameter a list. And we have 2 video clips, clip 1 and clip 2, that we defined here. So the output will be a single video file, which first plays the first argument and then the second argument. Then we want to write the output into a file, so we call the function writeVideoFile with the path and the file name. Now, if we run this program, you'll see it starts writing the new file. And it might take a while depending on the duration of your videos. Now, of course, you can put the video files in any order. So it might be you want clip 2 first and then clip 1. And you can combine more than 2 clips. So even if you have 10 clips, you can put them all in series using the function concatenate video file clips. So if we take a look at our directory, we'll see a new file called result. And we already see in the image that it starts with the first video. If we start playing it, you'll see it first plays the first video, and then it starts playing the second video. So both of them are now combined or concatenated. And this works for any movie and for any combination. So if we were to flip them around, so if we were to say this is clip 2 and this is clip 1, turn them around and then write the output, you'll see that it starts with the other video clip instead. So you can specify any number of clips and combine them by calling concatenate video file clips. And if we go to our directory, you'll see result, and it now starts with the other video instead and only plays the other video after that. If you want, you can specify the path as a variable instead of defining it each time. So if you have a lot of videos, this might become cumbersome. So you can say something like path is, and then specify your working directory path, and then use that path variable as parameter in those functions. Now, if you don't specify any path, it will look in your program source directory and output in the directory and look for videos inside it. So that's an option. However, it's usually better just to define your paths. You can stack video clips too. So stack means to see multiple at the same time. For example, you can have a clip like this where different clips or the same clip plays at the same time. So here we see the same video clip playing at the same time, which is combined based on the original clip. So this is the original clip, and a stacked clip could show one or more videos in a certain order. Now, in order to create that with Python, first import the video file clip from movie.py.editor to load videos. And then you'll want to import clips array, which allows you to create a stacked video. Then define your videos, so using video file clip, the path to the video file and the video file name, so whatever your video files are named. Then to create the stacked clip, we'll call the function clips array. So the function clips array with the clips you want to see. In this case, I specified boat.mp4, which is why you saw the boat in all 4 sections of the screen. So you'll see the boat here 4 times on the screen, because clip 2 is defined each time. And each row is a list. So this is the first row, you'll see it's a list. And the second row is another list. And you'll see there's an outer list. This one. There's an outer list which the rows are part of. So every line is a new row. And these are the columns. So the output is saved in the clip result. And result is written to a video file. So we call the function write video file wherever you want to output it. Now, it doesn't have to be a single clip. You can stack multiple clips. It can be different ones. So let's say we define 2 other clips and we can stack them all together. So right now we're only stacking the same clip. Clip 2 is in all portions of the video. However, we can change that. So now it would stack 4 clips that we defined, clip 1, 2, 3, and 4, which specify the path and the file name for each clip. And then you can set the order in the clip array function, so the first row and the second row. If you then run it, it will create a video of 4 videos stacked together. So if we run it, you'll see it starts writing the output file, the result file, which by calling the function write video file. And in that file, we have all 4 clips stacked together. So let's take a look. The result file. And if we, you'll see 4 videos combined together. So they are stacked together. It can be any order you want, so it doesn't have to be this order. You can change the order by just changing the version here. So instead of clip 1 here, you can say clip 3, or clip 4 it can be defined here, or you can change the order here. You can use Python to speed up videos with the PyMovie module. So pick any video. For example, we have a video of some horses walking in the dock. And we can speed up this video using Python code. So how do we do that? Well, set up your project in PyCharm and install the PyMovie module and then import it. So from PyMovie, we import video file clip to open the video file, and one called VFX for visual effects or video effects. Then we open the video using video file clip. So video file clip with the path to your video file and your file name. You can pick any video you want. Then we can speed up a video by saying clip 1, in this case that's the name of our clip, .fx, and then video file or vfx.speedx, and then how many times you want to speed up your video. So this speeds it up by 4 times. And then of course you want to save the output. So you can say .write video file, and then wherever you want to save your video, including the file name. So if we run this program, it will create a new video, and you'll see video ready. So we have the original file, which is just the 2 people or the 2 horses walking and the dog. And then we have a file that we speed up by a factor of 4. So here you can see we speed it up by 4. So if we look at the clip, you'll see it's 4 times faster. Let me show that again because it's really fast. So the video is speed up. And basically we do that with 1 line of code, because the other code is just to load the video and to save the video. Now you can also slow videos down. So any higher number than 1 is an increase. So 2 would be twice as fast, 3 would be 3 times as fast, 4 would be 4 times as fast, and so on. However, if you have 1, that's the equal speed, and less than 1, that would mean to slow down. So if we have 0 times 5, that would be slower by a half. And so if we run this, so any number less than 1 is slowing down. And we look at the original. It takes about 6 seconds. And if we then look at the other video, you'll see it's 13 seconds. So it's about 50% slower. So any number lower than 1 is slow down. Any number higher than 1 is speed up. So you can do both with the same line of code. So if you want slower, that's less than 1. If you want faster, that's higher than 1. So it's just .fx and then vfx.speedx with the parameter. You can download this code and try it out on your own with different numbers, so you can slow it down or speed it up. You can apply different effects to a video. For example, you can change the colors to be darker or brighter. So if we take a look at this video, you'll see we can make this video more bright or more dark. Now in order to do that, we open our code and we import video file clip to load the file. So you'll see here we load the file and then we write the file, and we'll also call import video effects, so VFX, and then we can apply an effect. So we do that with 1 line of code. So we say apply an effect to the video, in this case clip 1, and then we say the video effect for color, and we change the colors, so every color in every image of the video, by a factor 1.5, so that the video becomes more bright. So 1 is 100%, so it's about half more bright. And if we then run the code, you see it's 50 times brighter. And you'll see this is now the new video, which is a lot more bright. Now if you want, you can of course make it darker as well. So if it's less than 1, it gets darker. So if we say 0.5, it's about 50% darker than the original video. And if we take a look, you'll see the video now is a lot darker than the original. So you can apply the brightening effect or brightness effect by calling .fx and then as parameters that you want to change the colors and the parameters. Again, you can download this program and try it out on your own. You can also apply a fade in effect. So if we say fade in and then the number of seconds, so let's say 2 seconds fade in, write it, and then it will add fade in effect to your video. So if we click on the video, you'll see it now fades in. If you want, you can also do fade out. So instead of fade in, you can write fade out, run it, and it will do a 2-second fade out at the end of the video. So at the end of the video, you'll see it slowly fade out. So that's an effect you can apply as well. So there's different type of effects, and the parameter really depends. So in this case, fade in and fade out, it's the number of seconds. However, when we talk about color, it's the brightness factor. PyMovie comes with many different types of effects. For example, the mirror effect. A mirror effect flips the video images around. So for instance, we can mirror on the horizontal axis or the x-axis. It doesn't need any parameter. So if we run this, it will mirror on the horizontal axis. So run it. And if we then take a look, you'll see the video is now mirrored on horizontal axis. You can also mirror on vertical axis, and you can do that by saying mirror y instead of x. Y-axis is the other axis. So if you then run it, and we take a look, the video is then mirrored on the other axis, which means it's upside down. So different effects can be applied by calling .fx, and sometimes that needs a second parameter, sometimes that doesn't. So for example, you can turn a color clip into a black and white clip easily by saying vfx.blackwhite, which turns your color clip into a black and white video clip. If you run this, you'll see the color clip is then changed to black and white video. And you see the original has colors, and then our new clip is in black and white. Another type of color effect you can do is to invert the colors. So instead of saying black-white, you can say invert_colors. Run the program, and it will invert all the colors, so you'll have a negative video. You'll see, if you take a look at it, you'll have a negative video. Now in most cases that's not particularly useful, because we don't see the world in negative colors. But that's another color effect you can do. You can resize any video using MoviePy. So first open MoviePy, you want to import video file clip to load and write the file. And you want to load video effects. And that's because resizing is another video effect in MoviePy. So load the video clip, then write the video clip, and in between you want to resize it. And you can do that by applying an effect. So .fx to apply the effect. You'll want the resize effect, and then specify the width of your new video. Now by calling this function, it will return a new video file clip of the video resized by width. So it will have a very small width, and once you run it, it will write your new output file. So if we run this program, you'll see it outputs it. We'll have two videos. One video that is like a more detailed video, and one resized, so it becomes very blurry at scale. That's because we resized it to only 100 pixels. Now in this case, or in many programs, you can easily check a video if you go to the properties of it. And in details you'll see we have width and height here. At least on my computer, it depends on your computer. Often the operating system shows the video properties, so this one has a width of 640 And if we go to the other video, you'll see this one only has a width of 100. So it's resized. So in order to resize it, just apply the resize effect. So fx video effects.resize with your new width or height. You can also crop a video. So to crop a video means to take a part of the video, like only the top left or only the top right part of the video, or the bottom right, bottom left, or any region of the video that you want to extract. So in order to do that, we apply another visual effect, and of course we load video file clip to load and save the video. And to apply it, we'll say .fx, so apply an effect. You want the crop effect, and then specify 4 parameters, which is the starting point horizontally, the end point horizontally, starting point vertically, and the end point vertically. Now in order to get these numbers, you need to know the screen size of your video, so the dimensions of your video. In this case, the video is 640 width by 360 high. And what we'll do is to extract the dock from the video. So if you open the video, you'll see a dock running here on the corner. So we want somewhere in the higher ranges on the horizontal point, and on the vertical point we'll also want a higher number in order to extract the dock from the picture. And so the video was 640 width. So let me show you. 640 width. So we want the starting point to be also high number, so let's say 550, and then all the way to the border. It was 360 high, so somewhere above the bottom, but not all the way. So this is just the coordinates of your box that you want to extract from your video. If you run it, you'll see it creates a new video, and if you got your coordinates right for your video, it will extract the right part of your video. Now because this video is not a high quality one, the video might be not that detailed.